Definitely the most difficult aspect of this was the pressure I put on myself. When I found out Cast was doing Agnes, I was immediately interested, and the role terrified me in the best way possible. So a lot of the hurdles I had to overcome were my own. But Agnes goes through a lot, so I knew there would be a lot of work to be done. To prepare for this role, luckily we had a lot of rehearsal. We had a lot of at-table work, which was incredibly necessary for the show. And I made the joke with a lot of my friends that had they said this show we would have had 6 months of rehearsal, I probably would have said that's still okay. So a lot of rehearsing and a lot of learning to trust my castmates, which was very easy. The overall process for working on Agnes was about 10 weeks. The first few weeks were at table, and then we slowly eased into some blocking and working Act 1 and Act 2. And right when we thought we had all the time in the world, it seemed like we were at opening. Homework from Michael Simmons was probably one of the largest aspects in preparation for the show. He always had something new to tell us. He always had a different perspective. So right when you were on the cusp of saying, okay, I think I've got the gist of this, Michael would come in and say, well, why don't you look at it from this angle or from this perspective, which, though I disagreed at some points, I always came back and said, you were right. A secret handshake is when Michael Simmons terrifies you and pulls you aside after rehearsal and says, you have to come talk to me. And you go and talk to him, and it's like being sent to the principal's office. And what he does is gives you a motivation or an action or just a thought about your character in order to help another character. So I had a lot of fun ones with Cynthia, and seeing her big-eyed as they came to life the next night at rehearsal was always very rewarding. Agnes of God has been an incredibly rewarding experience, even just at the start of this run. I have learned to push myself in ways I wasn't sure I was going to be able to do, and doing a drama has really opened up different parts of me that normally I'm saving for the comedy. So it's been incredibly rewarding, and lots of help from our assistant director, Audrey, who brought in a completely different perspective towards the end, and was really grateful for that. There is absolutely still room for discovery, and that is one of the reasons I fell in love with this script when I read it a long time ago and then reread it when they announced the season. I changed my mind about what I think this play is about each night, and I changed my mind about whether or not I think Agnes is or is not what people say she is. And I'm really looking forward to growing and discovering more in the next few weeks. If I had to say what Agnes of God was and sum it up in one word, I would say faith. I'm Lauren Dortch Crozier, playing Sister Agnes in Agnes of God.
Agnes of God, presented by Carolina Actors Studio Theater, April 21st to May 21st. Get your tickets at nccast.com.